Most recipes for oven fries are downright terrible. They turn out a little something like this. They're mostly pale except on the ends where they're incredibly tough and burned. They're very flabby. And on the inside, they're just really mealy and starchy. So today we're gonna solve the oven fry problem once and for all because Lon's here. And she cooked over 10 pounds of potatoes every day for over 3 weeks in order to get it just right. And by my estimation, that's a lot of potatoes.
Sure is, and most of them pretty bad.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. But we're not going to do that today. We figured out how to make them taste great, have that perfect texture, and be nice and fluffy on the inside as well.
Tall order.
Yes. We're going to start with the flavor. So the key to French fry flavor is to get the oil to oxidize slightly. That's what happens when you fry. Since we're not frying in the oven, we have to find a way around that. I'm starting with baking spray, and I'm just going to coat this pan generously. And then for the oil flavor, I have 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil.
Okay, so baking spray, then vegetable oil is the key.
Right. What we're doing here isn't just preventing the fries from sticking. The cooking spray is going to help the vegetable oil stay spread out across the surface of the pan, and that's how we ensure that every fry has just that right amount of flavor.
Wow, because that's not a lot of oil.
No, no. You see a lot of recipes that call for 1/3 to 1/2 cup of oil, and you end up with kind of greasy fries, and sometimes a smoking oven, and that was not good.
I've done that.
So now I'm just tilting the pan to make sure it's evenly distributed.
So the reason we coated that baking sheet with cooking spray before adding the vegetable oil is because it allows us to use less oil overall. Well, how does that work? Well, it comes down to the lecithin in the baking spray. See, lecithin is a special molecule. It has 2 sides. One side that's generally sticky, and the other side that's attracted to oil. So when you spray it on the baking sheet, the sticky side sticks to the metal. The side that likes the oil is facing up. So when you pour the oil on top of it, it disperses evenly over the baking sheet, making a nice thin layer. So we can get away with using just 3 tablespoons.
Well, that looks great. Okay, next up, the fries. I have Yukon Gold potatoes here, and we're using Yukons because they have a nice thin skin and we don't have to peel them. So I'm just going to cut them first in half lengthwise.
All right, so you went through the thin part of the potato.
Yes, that just means we'll get more fries per potato. And I'm trimming a tiny sliver off the long side of each half. Instead of cutting the traditional wedge shape or even the matchstick, we're going to go with planks. That ensures 2 flat sides for nice browning and crispiness, and we don't have to flip them as often.
Ah, very clever.
That's it. This is 2 pounds of Yukon Golds.
Okay.
Next, if I were to take those potatoes and just dump them on this sheet pan, pop them in the oven, they're not going to crisp up.
I've done that. It doesn't work.
No. What we can do is put something on the outside that we know will crisp up, and that ingredient is cornstarch. I've got 3 tablespoons here, and instead of just sprinkling this on the potatoes, which will make the fries end up being a little dusty, we're going to mix it with some water, 3/4 of a cup. But you can't put the potatoes in this either.
No, that looks pretty watery.
Yeah, nothing's going to stick. What we're going to do is pop this in the microwave. That's going to cook the cornstarch just a little bit. We'll end up with something that's a little pudding-like, but it'll be thick enough to coat the planks really nicely. It's going to take anywhere between 1 to 3 minutes, and I'll be stirring every 20 seconds. So here we go.
It really transforms with those few minutes in the microwave.
Yeah, so it's pretty warm, but not too thick, not too thin. If you do overdo it a little bit, you can just add a couple tablespoons of water, maybe a little at a time, whisk it in, thin it out slightly.
Brings it right back.
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm just going to add these potatoes.
Plunk.
Right, and I like to get in there with my hands. It's a little hard to get them to separate sometimes if you're using a spatula. So what I'm looking for here is to make sure the potatoes are each lightly coated with this goo. Once they are, we're going